Alright guys, today we're going to try to recreate this poster from the film The Martian. So what you'll get is something along... So let's get started. So let's open up a picture. This is just a picture I took with my phone, my Samsung S7. Just import that in. And what you'll need is kind of a high definition graphic of just Matt Damon soloed out of the picture. So I found this one on internet, and what you want to do is bring the photo of you face on kind of over on top of the original Matt Damon graphic. And then let's just resize this. And we'll just play with the opacity of this layer just to see where the eyes and the mouth fit over the original graphic. So I'll just take down the opacity, kind of trying to line up the eyes and the mouth. And I notice my eyes are a little off kilter, so I'm just going to rotate it just a bit once I get this, my lips just lined up a bit more. Just going to rotate it just a tinge. And then that seems good enough. So let's bring the opacity up again. And let's just apply a layer mask on my photo and then hide that layer mask. And what we can do is we can, with a brush, just bring in my photo. So let's get a brush, a faded out brush. And on the layer mask, you can just color it in your face. So as you can see. And we're bringing in my face right now. Again, try to incorporate some of the edges of Matt Damon's face in with it, just so it blends in a little bit more clearly. I know the lighting's not gonna be the same as his face, and you can play with opacity just around the edges like that. Again, the lighting's not gonna be dead on. So we'll try to add some filters just to combat that and kind of make it more as if the lighting is... We'll try to get it as close as the lighting on Matt Damon's face. Again, you can play with the opacity of the brush just to blend it in a little bit more and make the transition look a little more smoother. So again, the lighting won't be the same because my picture is a straight on light. So we'll add a photo filter just to add kind of what the overall color is, which is kind of like, I'd say a tan, a beige. Seems about right. I did notice that Matt Damon's photo was a little sharp or very detailed, so what we'll do is add an unsharpened mask. just to add more of that detail back into my skin. And I know I didn't shave, or don't worry about my blemishes or anything like that. You can get rid of those in post. But what we're trying to do is just bring out more of the, so you can see more of the pores, the wrinkles, and kind of mimic that look we get in the actual poster. And again, I'm just judging it by the eyes right now because they seem to pop more in the original poster, and I'm just trying to mimic that right now. Not trying to go too overboard, that seems about right. And then we'll add some curves just to kind of piggyback on getting that kind of high fidelity and high. Oh, I forgot. We need to solo out these filters on just my face so it doesn't affect the whole photo. So as you can see, it's coming around. It's coming together quite nicely. I'll add some levels just to play with the shadows and stuff. And also some exposure. Just a tad. So I think we've got it as close as we can get to what Matt Damon's original poster looks like. It's not ideal, but something you can do to combat that is just to add a lens flare, and this will bring kind of the whole picture together, just because there's a flatter light on my face as opposed to more dynamic light on Matt Damon's face. So what you can do is bring in this lens flare. I just got it off the internet. Let's change the blending mode, and as you see, it just brings kind of the whole picture together as kind of a good flare to it. And then we'll just add a brightness layer or brightness filter, and we'll filter out what kind of that flare is. And then we'll actually hide this, and then we'll just add it back in through a gradient. So it's hitting me a bit more. So as you can see, I cleaned it up a bit. I played. And this is our final result for the poster. But again, we're doing this for YouTube, so it needs to be kind of a wider kind of frame. So we'll start one that is 1920 by 1200. And to get the edges, I found this picture. One sec, just let me bring this over onto the new. Just put it in there. Kind of center it. So we're still missing the edges on both sides. So what we can do is, I did find this picture on the internet where it shows a little bit more of the side. So we can use the right side of this portion, and we can clean it up a bit, remove the text through cloning. That's what I did there. I just overlaid it, and you kind of just want to turn the opacity on and try to match it with what the edges of the helmet. There seems about right, and you can see I do need to clean it up a bit, but you can clean it up later just by using the clone tool. But right now I'm just trying to get the outline of, or I'm trying to fill in the full mask. So there seems about right. Turn that up, hide that layer, and again we'll just fill it in through a brush. And then once that's done, you can duplicate that layer. Let's bring it behind first. Now we'll duplicate it. We'll flip it horizontally just to fit on the other side now. So kind of the same thing, we want kind of match up with the edges so it looks like a full helmet. And then kind of blend it in as you see fit. Again, use your discretion and kind of finesse it to what you think or what you feel is best. Alright, once you cleaned it up a bit, you can see that you can remove the text from the original poster. And you can bring in, write your own text. I found this typeface that matches it closely. This is the closest one that I could find. And as you can see, it kind of does the job. And you can initially write anything you want. That's just the title of my YouTube film. But you can initially change it to anything you want, like maybe watch me eat. Yeah, just anything you want. But just for the sake of this tutorial, let's kind of try to mimic the Martian. And I'll tell you how I did this. So all it is basically a text layer with a gradient on it. And I just took a light gray and a white, and it's reflected, and it adds kind of that chromatic effect to the title. But there's a little more dimension into this title. I'll teach you how to do that right now. So what we're going to do is duplicate that Martian layer, turn off the gradient, and then change the color to a dark gray. And as you can see, once we shrink it down just a bit, or move it, you can see kind of that 3D effect that the original one had here, without using the Repoussé tool or the CC 3D tool. So there's looks like they had more depth into it. So let's just shrink that down and see if we can add that. So as you can see, yeah, on the N, M, especially, you can see more of that 3D effect without having to use a Repoussé or, again, the in program 3D tool. You can do the same thing with the word the. All you have to do is just write it in. And it has the same kind of effect. And then we just want to rotate that 90 degrees counterclockwise and have it on there like that. And again, just for the sake of this poster, let's kind of write what is on the actual poster. So let's rewrite this. And yeah, there you have it. That's kind of what the basics you need for this particular poster. But if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and share this video. And if you haven't already, check out my last tutorial and my YouTube film every day. Thanks for watching, guys. Thank you.